Hi, Laurie and Toll here. Happy Labor Day. It's really strange. Thing is, well, it's strange because it's really quiet in Los Angeles, but then I realized, wait, Labor Day is kind of quiet. For some reason, Los Angeles does not celebrate Labor Day like East Coast does. There are no parades. Typically, there's a parade, but it's all the way down in Long Beach. And I've often wondered this every Labor Day. I'm thinking, why is the parade in Long Beach, and why isn't it in Los Angeles proper, okay, Long Beach is part of Los Angeles, but Los Angeles is a very unique city. For those of you who are not from Los Angeles, I only have 35 subscribers. I don't know where you guys are from, but it's like spread out. It's kind of like if New York City included Long Island and parts of New Jersey as part of the city. Okay, maybe it's not that big, but it's just, I don't know. It feels big because it's like it includes Long Beach all the way down to the south, and technically, I think it may even include like Santa Clarita up to the north, and like Pasadena to the east, and then Malibu to the west. And it's just like it could take you hours to travel around all over Los Angeles, and you still wouldn't see everything. I'm constantly seeing something new I didn't realize was even there. I was just up at Griffith Park this past weekend seeing the play, and I decided to walk a different route than I normally do. Discovered a playground I didn't know was there with a basketball court. And you may not know this if you don't know me, but basketball is my stick, my jive. Like, I have bad knees, can't really play anymore. I still have a basketball in my apartment, though that's kind of a little flat. I need to blow it up. But I used to just shoot hoops because I couldn't really run around with bad knees. I would go to Venice when it was during the holiday season when it's like dead at the beach and there'd be nobody around, and just shoot hoops, because then I wouldn't have to worry about, like, because I have to kind of walk half, I can't really run after the ball. I have to worry about somebody taking my basketball by mistake, or it hitting somebody else, or just flying off and not being able to find it because it was just me. Um, that was my new discovery, the fact that there's a basketball court by this playground. And it's kind of interesting because they've got different level baskets. They've got baskets for little kids and baskets for big, like they've got regular size baskets, and they've got shorter ones for, I guess, little kids to play with, which is kind of cool. Because you're like, if you have like a little child who you're trying to teach basketball to, there's no way they could ever make a shot on a normal basketball court. So that was really a nice touch. But it's an interesting day because I realize LA doesn't really celebrate it, but in a weird kind of way, not celebrating it is the right thing to do because it is Labor Day. It's a day where you're supposed to celebrate, like, people having work where they are treated well, hopefully, paid right, okay, treated with dignity, which we need to work on a lot. And then, so it's a day of rest. Because, okay, guess what? We worked the rest of the year, and this is our day to celebrate the fact that we made it to today. That we have, we've been working until the day, and now it's like just quit for the day. Because if you think about it, okay, having a parade for Labor Day means that people are working to boo the parade. They're working to do the parade, and therefore, since they're working to do the parade, they're not taking the day off, and they're not really. It's like, wait, shouldn't you have? I feel really bad, by the way, today for a lot of the grocery stores, because for some reason the grocery stores in Los Angeles all stayed open. Irregular hours, no day off. Everything else was closed. I went and bought 2 watermelons and thanked the people working there. Said, thank you very much. This is the best deal. I bought 2 watermelons for $10. I couldn't believe it. They're both organic. One was a regular watermelon, and one was a black watermelon, which is really dark colored watermelon. I think they're originally from Japan, though these are U.S. versions of it. My understanding is the difference between the 2 watermelons is that the black watermelons are supposed to be sweeter, and something about the texture is supposed to be different. I only tasted a little bit different. I could tell there was a little bit of flavor after I ate a little bit for a while. Like if I ate a lot of it, I started noticing a difference. But at the same time, I'm like, it's really interesting because apparently some of these watermelons from Japan, people will pay hundreds of dollars if it's from a particular part of Japan of a particular type. Not these. These were like I think the regular watermelon was $4.99, and the black watermelon was like $5.99 or $6.99, and they were both pretty big. I filled up 4-gallon bags, I think, of because I cut it up and freeze it for smoothies and stuff. 4 gallon bags. So I'm going to be eating watermelon smoothies or just eating watermelon drinks for the next 2 months, maybe, or month, if depending on how much I want to eat it. But that was my day. It was a watermelon day. Watermelon sugar. I feel like singing that song. Oh, great! Now I'm going to have that Styles in my head for the next couple of hours, till I find something else to think about. Well, probably maybe not long, but I am very grateful to be here today. It's been kind of rough. I have been sick. I have not been feeling well. I have been dealing with trying to get medication for my autoimmunity, dealing with trying to figure out how to stay on top of everything. I desperately want to get back into acting, but my union is still telling me I'm not even allowed in the building, and that terrifies me because it makes me feel like I don't have control over my choices in my life, that they can basically dictate who hires me and who doesn't because I'm not actually allowed to stand up for myself and have my own voice. Sorry, celebrities, you're not my voice. I'm an actor too. And I am an actor, and I'm very good at it, and I was trained to do that. And I worked on sets for 5 years, and I earned the right to be SAG-AFTRA. And I am very tired. The hypocrisy of my situation on Labor Day is the fact that I'm supposed to be able to have a job with dignity and respect, and I'm supposed to be allowed to basically join a union and participate with that union. And they have been denying me that opportunity and that right, potentially because I did go to law school and they know it, but at the same time, Crabtree Ireland put me in an institution for saying I went to law school. So they basically brand me as crazy because I said I was a lawyer when I really was a lawyer. And at the same time, part of me thinks that they did it because they wanted to force me to get a regular job and give up acting, because they decided to judge me based on looks and how I was acting at the time. And I lost my breast to cancer 20 years ago today, September 2005. And the only thing that got me through that experience was being on sets and being around actors. I was always interested in acting. I loved acting. Anyone who knew me on the East Coast knew that it was on my resume as one of my interests. I got a theater degree, got a master's from at American University. I took a television acting class before I even came out here. I have video of Will Wallace, Terrence Malick's stepson, who, by the way, is not as great as people may think he is. There have been complaints about him that have been published in Hollywood Reporter, and also so there was another magazine that talked about it with casting, with him having some issues. I also know from my own experience, I watched him bully a girl out of class. I have him on tape actually saying I'm good. I could cold read like a professional actor. Katie Kurtzman, who ran the organization Actors Helping Actors, which is a meetup group. I went to her events before Justin Sandler did and his wife, and I know I impressed her, but at the same time, I think I struck a nerve with her too, because I told her my father was a Homeland Security agent and that I was a lawyer and not work practicing. And I think she decided to judge me as crazy because either I really wasn't a lawyer when I am, or it's just the fact that I wasn't doing something that could have made me, from most people's perspectives, lots of money when I'm really not capable of being a practicing attorney. I can't handle that. It's interesting how I've been listening to Revamped, which is a radio show by Julia Landau, who has met me. We know each other. She knows that I've had bad experiences with my parents, as has she. I think I've said this before, that you guys should all see the movie that she did, A Place Among the Dead. I kind of know what it feels like to be in that position. I have parents who basically repeatedly play games with me. This past weekend, they almost freaked me out by not answering the phone. And I think my father did it on purpose to make me get upset. And the thing is, it didn't make me get upset where I was like sad. It got me upset, and it got me terrified that I was going to end up homeless on the streets versus caring about whether or not he was really alive or dead. And It's been so crazy. I was independent and on my own for years working on sets, making just enough money to pay my bills. And I did have bills to pay. And then all of a sudden people just, I don't know. I'd like to know who Mikey Sanchez is on Twitter. MIKKEYSANCHEZ. That was the first account that attacked me in 2014 after I filed an action with the NLRB against Shondaland, ABC, Disney, SAG-AFTRA, and it viciously started attacking me around the same time that I'm finding out that as far as the new labor representative in Los Angeles was concerned, or the region was concerned, who was appointed by Obama, it was reasonable for what SAG-AFTRA was doing to me. They were basically McCarthying me. I don't think that they understood. They were cutting me off from the community. They were cutting me off from taking classes. They were putting me in a position where people could say, well, she didn't really go to law school. She's a fraud. She's crazy. And they could basically slander me to the point where I couldn't be hired by anyone in the entertainment industry. And I was stuck because unless I could be an actor, the rest of the industry just lost a flavor to me, and there was nothing else I wanted to do. When I think about today, it's supposed to be Labor Day, but then I look at what the rights of labor being, that I have the right to get a job and have a decent wage and to be able to keep a roof over my head. It is so geared toward the male perspective of that. To being able to raise a family, have children. I can't have children anymore. So all there is me. And I've lost the only reason I had my mastectomy 20 years ago. Because acting is the only thing that I really enjoy doing. I'm struggling. I have a script I want to finish and submit, but I'm struggling even doing that because I'm thinking, great, I get to write the script, maybe submit it, maybe somebody will pay me for it, and then somebody else gets to act in it. And that hurts. It makes me feel like I'm not good enough. It makes me feel like I'm a loser. It makes me feel like I'm back to being in high school, being picked on by the kids in school. Because to me, I wanted to be capable of being an actor. I wanted to keep striving to be good at it. I wanted to explore human behavior. I read 10 different books at the same time sometimes. I'm flipping through books at the library. I have Libby. I'm constantly rotating books. I think right now I'm reading, like, I can tell you in a flash what I'm reading. I'm reading, I accidentally, I was reading a series by Mass, MAASS, the feminist fairy tale story. And I thought I was getting the second book from that series. And it turns out got the first book of her other series, The Court of Thorns and Roses. I just started reading briefly. Interesting. I am reading Scott Carson, Departure 37, which is a brand new book. I have no idea how it ended up being on my list of books to read, but it is a page turner. I've only been reading it for like 3 days. It's actually doing one day, and I've got 21% through it, but I'm just like intrigued. It has AI, the government manipulation. It's just incredible. I want to see this. I want to see Departure 37 made into a movie. Now that I've said that somebody's going to do it, and I'm not going to get credit for it, but oh well. I'm reading The End of the World as We Know It, which is a series of short stories based on The Stand by Stephen King. I am 81% through that, and I had it for 7 days, and they were actually giving me another 7 days. I've got 5 days to finish the 20% I have left to read in it. And maybe if I'm lucky, I might be able to get it done, and then I'll be done with another book. I also have James Patterson, Bill Clinton's The President is Missing, and I'm 20% into that one. Burn It Down, I've been trying to finish, and I love it and hate it at the same time. It's by Maureen Ryan, because on the one hand, I love it because it actually it exposes some things in the industry I was not aware of, and yet some things I knew of. So it's kind of like, it feels like going back. It feels like stepping into a coffee shop with an old friend who also wants to stick a knife in your back. It's like that kind of situation. Whereas at one point I'm like, oh, I remember this. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. Oh, I remember this. Oh yeah, I remember this. And it's just back and forth like that. And it's interesting. I could actually write almost a parallel to this, because she starts out by talking about the show 24, and her view on 24 and my view on 24 are completely different, because I worked on 24 when I had cancer and I fainted on set, and the medic took care of me, which, by the way, not interested in dating a medic. I just, for whatever reason, when I was working on sets, it was always the medics I became friends with. It was always the medics who were taking care of me too. The medics or people in wardrobe. One or the other. I remember working in World of Worlds, and there was a crew guy from he worked on Eli Stone with me too, but he worked with some before that. And it was cold at night, and he was constantly coming to find me to give me warm patches to put in my pockets. Me specifically, he would be like, "Where are you, Laura?" He'd be there'd be a crowd like 100 people, and he'd be looking specifically at me to make sure I had them. So because working on Carnival, he knew I got really cold, and after having a mastectomy, because he knew that too, I was especially getting really cold. Court of Thorn and Roses, I'm only 3% into it. I just got I Am Legend. I haven't started yet. Yeah, don't ask me why. I actually have never read I Am Legend. And I thought, oh, wait, it's a book too? I should read that. And then I'm also been trying to read a magazine on poetry, but I keep not finishing them. Like I start it and then get into it a little bit, but then I keep thinking I want to write my own poetry. And then I just kind of, so I'm like, I need to actually go back and read last month's issue if it'll still let me do it, because next month is now available. I don't know if it will. I think it may just tell me, nope, you guys should have read it in the time that you had it, and now you got to go to the next episode, next one in this issue. But anyways, that's my life right now: reading books, writing on here, being unemployed, living off of family, which I hate, and wishing I could work, and trying to find ways to be the person I am. Which, by the way, I'm playing with makeup because trying to find healthier makeup. I'm a big person and a big believer of if you're going to put something on your skin, it also should help you. And this morning I did my makeup. I've run around all day, and it still looks pretty good. I'm kind of surprised. I may need maybe some touch-ups, but I haven't put on makeup since this morning. So I'm using 100% pure Inika eyebrow pencil. What else am I using? Oh, and I've found this product line called Keys Pure, which I'm really loving as face care. Really loving it. And this is Keys powder. This is like setting powder. And then they also have this Keys Aquavit, which I love. I am not being paid for this. Aquavit, which is I use it as a setting spray, and I'm surprised though because I think it worked. These two things together over my makeup, just a little bit, not a lot. So, anyways, it is really hot in California. I hope everyone had a good Labor Day. I talk too much I think I talk more to a camera than I do to other people. Like if you met me in person, I'm kind of socially awkward. I'm not the kind of person who I might, depending on how you meet me. Like if I haven't been around people for a while, which I get that way sometimes, where I desperately need to talk to somebody or feel the need to just talk, I might talk your ear off. Or if it's later in the day and I've already talked to too many people, I might just be like, "Hi, how are you?" Okay. It's not you. It's not you at all. Energy. People drain me. The trials and tribulations of being an introvert, to the extent that you drain me. It's like I have a love-hate relationship about people. I never want to see anybody hurt. I never want to see anybody miserable. I love acting. So you'd think, okay, she loves acting. I'm an introvert who loves acting. I don't need an audience. I just need a character to play. And I need a good script, preferably. Which, by the way, I'm going to write something about a recent thing that I found that I didn't like. That was it's supposed to be an audiobook I didn't like. And I'm going to write about it rather than tell you right now. Because if I tell you right now, I'll spoil it. Peace. Bye. Happy Labor Day.